before we go any farther, I just wanted to make sure that any of our readers that didn't know your story, could you just kind of tell us how you ended up with your career with the new book and how you got there? Just give us a short explanation of that first.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. I started writing in 2003. I actually sat down, in October of that year. I finished my first novel by November, and I sat down and wrote another one and just kept going. And then that summer, it was about, I think, June or July, Lori Foster had a contest on her website where she would take, entries. It was about 3 pages of a story, and she would read through them, and she would pick 20 finalists and would forward them to her editor at Kensington Publishing, and with the thought that perhaps the editor would like it and pick it up for publication. So I figured, what do I got to lose? I mean, there's no entry fee, and it's just 3 pages. So I entered that part of my story, and it was selected as a finalist, and it went on to win the Reader's Choice, and it was selected for publication by Kensington. So that's how I sold my first book. It went from, October sitting down in the chair to December of the following year, taking my first contract. And during that year, I had been, submitting work to publishers who took direct submissions. I was also submitting to agents, but, and then, within 2 weeks, kind of when it rains, it pours sort of thing. A lot of those submissions came back where the publishing house wanted to pick it up. So I really went from non-published to multi-published just over the matter of a couple weeks. And then the hard work begins. It's really not about selling the first book, it's about selling the next book, and always hoping that you'll get there. And here I am 10 years later, and 20 novels and 22 novellas later, I'm still hanging in there. And now we have the Crossfire series, which is just a huge surprise and a blessing in so many ways. I mean, we're at 10 million copies sold in 39 territories, and number 1 in 14 of them. And I can rattle off the numbers like that and sound calm about it, but that's because I don't actually sit down and think about it too much, because I think if I really focused on it, it might be kind of crippling. That's a lot of people expecting a lot of great things, but I have to just say, you have to stick it out. Just keep going, because if you quit, you never know where you're going to go.
Yeah, you also have some of the most loyal readers, I think, in the publishing business. They come back. They're really hungry for the next book. Give me advice for writers trying to build a following and interact with their readers in a more effective way. Really it's interaction that drives reader loyalty. I spend a lot of time on social media. I'm on Facebook every day. I'm on Twitter every day. I answer emails as time allows. And I travel a lot. I go to a lot of conferences and conventions and meet with readers directly. And I try to convey to them all the time how grateful I am, because I know that they can spend their hard-earned dollars on any book. If they're going to spend it on mine and then spend the next few hours of their life with it, the least I can say is thank you. Thank you so much for trusting me to deliver a good story and following me and staying with me as I take this journey. So gratitude goes a long way. Never forget that you are where you are because your readers are there for you. Your readers support you. That said, I use those tools of social media and interaction. That may not be the best for some other writers. Some writers may hate interacting on social media, and if you do, don't do it, because it shows. And if you're uncomfortable being out in public, that shows too, and that makes the reader uncomfortable. So find what, the best way for you to connect with your readers in a way that you enjoy, and then do that. Do it. Connect to your readers. Awesome. Finally, I just wanted to ask, when you're writing a series, what do you do to make your reader want to go to that next book and be so excited as your readers are for the next book in the series? Any advice for writers with that?
Well, try not to end on a huge cliffhanger. That drives them absolutely insane. That said, of course, you should have a story arc, and some threads, of course, of those are not going to be finished. And try to end the book in an optimistic place, but with the reader saying, "But I want to know what happened here, and I want to know what's next, and I want to know. I just want to know," and that will drive them to pick up the next book. But I can tell you, a series of one cliffhanger after another will drive them absolutely insane. You will hear it. You will hear it nonstop.
great. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And good luck on your tour.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. I was glad to talk to you.